What's acceptable to have to explain to a child, but unacceptable to have to explain to an adult? Not everything on TV is real. Some people on the internet lie to you. The problem with quotes on the internet is that it is hard to verify their authenticity. Abraham Lincoln, source, the internet. Basic hygiene. TBF, I was never really taught or made to brush my teeth, so it never became a habit, and 3 teeth are gone cause of it. Had I been made to do it when I was younger, I'd have dentures that are worth more than shit. How it isn't okay to throw a tantrum when you don't get what you want. My favorite reaction to this situation: what were you hoping to achieve with that display? Even though you bumped into that person and knocked their items out of their hands by accident, you still need to apologize. Just the general concept of things you do on accident are still your responsibility. That concept is so hard to explain to kids. Say you're sorry and help clean up, but it was an accident. Yes, you're not in trouble, that's just what you do after an accident. Repeat ad infinitum. Why we cover our mouth nose when we cough sneeze. And how to cover our mouth nose when sneezing coughing. Do it into your elbow crease, not your hands, people. Dabbing is the only acceptable way to sneeze or cough, and sneezing coughing is the only acceptable reason to dab. Teaching the concept of personal space. Too many adults do not understand it. A man was standing so close to me in the supermarket queue that I had to ask him repeatedly to take a step back. Every time the queue moved forward, he would be jammed up against me again. In his incoherent response, he seemed very concerned that I wasn't jammed up against the next guy in the queue too, as if that was just an open invitation for random people to jump into the gaps ahead of us. After living with a 32-year-old who behaves like a 12-year-old for a year. 1. Don't shoot that slingshot in the house. 2. Don't take other people's things without permission. 3. Don't go through other people's things without permission. 4. Don't trespass on private property. 5. Don't eat candy for every meal. 6. Don't follow a bear around in the woods. 7. Don't chase the livestock. 8. Don't torment the pets. And the list goes on. Being an adult means you know you shouldn't shoot the slingshot in the house, but choose to accept the consequences of shooting the slingshot in the house. Where babies come from. No shit, I had to explain this to a 19-year-old who got his girlfriend pregnant. He seriously thought that because they were both virgins, that she couldn't get pregnant. She did. When I was in the 8th grade, my friend was complaining about tampons and how she would never put anything up there, so I asked her how she was ever going to have sex, and you could see the light bulb come on. A couple years later she got knocked up and I always felt guilty about it. I'm a private tutor. I've had to argue with too many parents who disagreed with me over simple concepts like how to add fractions. But I'm billing them $80+ an hour, so I'm fine with spending a bit of time explaining basic ideas. Edit. Yes, I charge $80+ per hour. I only advertise my services in rich neighborhoods. Also, it's not like poor people are at a disadvantage because they can't afford my help. I'm actually quite useless. Math teacher here who works with adults. If more people got those basic concepts down before graduating high school, fewer kids would struggle, because there are so many parents who don't know the necessary math to help their elementary school children with homework. Don't pee on the toilet seat. If you accidentally pee on the toilet seat, wipe it up with toilet paper so the next person doesn't sit on it. Also, don't stand on the toilet seat at a North American toilet. I worked in a building with international students. The toilet seats always had shoe marks. This was a woman's bathroom. That they should take responsibility for their mistakes. That nobody else made them do the bad thing they did. Or that your own personal beliefs and way of life are not objective, and that there is an entire world outside of the small corner of the world you live in. A lot of close-minded adults end up being the entitled ones because they think they are always right. How to eat with your mouth closed. I recently, privately, asked my mom how my sister managed to grow into adulthood chewing with her mouth hanging open. She said she gave up in her teen years when nothing she did was making a difference. I had to explain to a high school classmate what periods were. He thought that girls just started bleeding from all 3 holes down there. We need better sex ed. I'm more surprised he knew females have 3 holes while not knowing about periods. You would be surprised how many guys, and that's not just boys, think vagina has a single opening for all uses L male. That you shouldn't kiss, hug, touch, sniff complete strangers. But did you know if you put your ear up against a stranger's leg you can distinctly hear, "What the fuck are you doing?" Way back a long time ago I was really drunk at a bar the day before Thanksgiving. I was bald at the time. Still am now, but was then too. I saw that my brother was trying in vain to hit on a girl that clearly wasn't interested, with her friend looking on amused. I went up to the girl who he wasn't trying to hit on, softly grabbed her hair and said, "I really like your hair. It's super soft and I miss mine." We ended up casually dating for a few months. I would not recommend anyone try that though. Look both ways before you cross the street. If they hit and kill me, I don't have to pay my student loans. That's survival of the fittest when they turn 11. Women have a urethra and a vagina. Pee and menstrual blood don't come out of the same hole. As a female, 17, I didn't learn this until I was 15. Insane how it's not taught as often as it should be. Don't feel bad. I went to nursing school, with a woman in her 50s who had absolutely no idea that women had 2 holes down there, so I asked her if she ever thought it was weird she could pee with a tampon in. You could literally see the light bulb turn on in her head. She didn't make it through the program. When you want somebody to move, we say, "Excuse me," not "move it." My supervisor didn't take it well when I wasn't gonna take his rudeness. Respect for their fellow humans. We don't vote for someone just because they are male or female. We vote for them because we agree with their politics, and or think they are the best for the job. In the last local body election I copied all of the candidates' statements and removed the names. Picked my favorite one based entirely on what they planned to do, then figured out which candidate matched the statement I liked and voted for them. How babies are made. I had to explain this to a 25-year-old FRND. She thought they magically appear from glowing light like it's shown in Indian soaps. When you explain that it's not necessary to get a treat for pooping in the toilet or not peeing in your underwear overnight. Any lessons you could easily find in a children's show. Prime example, Bronies. When the new MLP series and Bronies were at their height, I was in my early to mid-teens. I watched the show because my similarly aged friends all liked MLP when they were younger or had fond memories of it. I didn't grow up here in America, and I wanted to relate to my friends more. And I have always also liked cartoons anyway, even if they are simplistic and the messages of the show are pretty obvious. Be nice to people you don't understand, apologize to your friends when you have wronged them, don't lie to others just to please them. It was nuts to hear 20 to 30-year-old, grown-ass men talking about those lessons like they were revelations. When I was in college, I overheard a brony seriously explain to his other brony friend why the, obviously, shitty thing he did was just like the, comically obviously, shitty thing Rarity did in one of the episodes, and brony number 2 had a galaxy brain moment. I couldn't believe it. This children's show was written to give children a basic understanding of how to deal with issues as they grow up. It's meant to be a stepping stone to more complex issues. And it was being referenced by 20-somes in college. It's like watching an adult just learn that if you add 4 quarters together, you get $1. Nah man, you should have known that 15 years ago. I can't really hate some of these bronies though. Maybe some of them are on the spectrum or had developmental issues growing up, or grew up in a very macho or repressive household. I will hate on weird horny bronies though. I guess that's another one that's unacceptable to have to explain to an adult. Please don't beat your meat to the fictional child horses. I have borderline personality disorder due to childhood trauma. I actually started watching several episodes of videos for kindergartners about understanding our emotions and managing them, and learned a lot. I'm sorry to hear about the childhood trauma, but if you need another show unless you are actually watching this one, Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood is amazing for this. My kid is just under 2, we've been watching together for a while and it's amazing the emotional intelligence she displays. It's more than a lot of adults that I have interacted with over the years. It's helped me in some ways too. Do you have any other examples? Leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.